In the age of billion-dollar-plus valuations and splashy IPOs, it's rare to hear a founder say he never wants to sell his startup or go public. That is the case with Kickstarter. Over the weekend, the crowdfunding platform announced it was reincorporating as a public benefit corporation, a distinction that means the company is now legally bound to do good for the public. Joining me now to explain this move is Kickstarter co-founder and CEO Yancey Strickler, with me from New York. Yancey, really interesting to hear, the way you guys made this decision. First of all, why are you doing this, and how did you come to decide that you were indeed going to reincorporate?
Well, this is actually something we've been working towards from the very beginning. We were always very focused on building an organization that reflected our ideals and was trying to chart its own course. A public benefit corporation didn't exist the way that it does now. We first started Kickstarter 6+ years ago. And so when Delaware passed a law in 2013 where a company could become a public benefit corporation, we were excited to take that step. And so we've drafted a charter that's available on our website today, Kickstarter/charter, that details the commitments we are making both to our community and the public. And for the most part, these things just reflect the way that we've always operated the company, trying to be very values-driven and very idealistic. We have a new commitment we announced today of donating 5% of our annual post-tax profits in support of arts and music education and to organizations fighting inequality. But overall, we were excited to inscribe in the legal founding documents of the company the sorts of things that we care about and the sort of company we want to continue to be.
There's so much talk of unicorns right now, and I wonder, what's your take on the path that all of these other companies are pursuing? Is it wrong to pursue a big, splashy IPO? And what should these companies be doing for the public good if they go the public route?
No, I don't think that's wrong at all. I think as an entrepreneur, you just have to be aware from the very beginning what you're doing it for. What is the goal for your organization? For us, it's been sustained long-term growth. We want to be a service that's around for a very long time, and we thought of ourselves as operating as if we were a public trust. And so we have the benefit of taking this step because we have a revenue model. We've been a company that's operated in the black for the past 5 years, and we have shareholders and investors who are deeply believe the things that we do. And so when you have that sort of alignment at the management and the investor level, you can make a choice like this. You can make a decision that certainly costs the company potential profits, but we believe is in the long-term better interest. And so for an entrepreneur, it's just especially important that you and your investors have that kind of alignment where everyone knows exactly what the outcome you want is. And so yes, for some companies that is an exit through a sale or an IPO, and that's traditionally what venture capital is looking for. But we always wanted to do it quite differently. And so we've been fortunate to have great investors like Union Square Ventures and Fred Wilson who are aligned around the same sort of approach.
You've also got Chris Sacca, Jack Dorsey backing you guys, and I'm curious, how did they take this decision, and how much convincing did it take to get them to a point where they were like, okay, we're behind you on this?
Well, we've always been open about who we are, and I think that people have enjoyed that. I mean, Sacca is someone that we have great respect for, and vice versa. We put this was put out to a vote among the Kickstarter shareholders, which includes current and former employees and our investors, and there was not a single dissenting voice. This is very consistent with how we've always operated, and I think collectively we felt a sense of pride to be able to make this statement today and to so clearly communicate what it is that we stand for.
Any concerns about how this could impact your recruiting?
My expectation is that this will be very powerful for recruiting. I mean, this is a framing we've given every person that we've brought in when we've hired them, to be very clear about our values and the way that we think about the long-term prospects of the business. But I strongly believe that this is going to attract a certain sort of person to us. And so, we are regularly bringing in high-quality talent, and we pay market salaries, and we have a great team of just over 100 here in New York City. And I think this is just going to be a boom for the sorts of candidates we're able to attract.
And quickly, do you think there's anything more that other technology companies, who maybe they don't go for the PBC thing, but what do you think other technology companies should be doing to give back to the community, to give back to the public?
Well, I think really reflecting upon your operations and ensuring a consistency is very important. You don't want to be professing one value in one channel and actually doing something quite different elsewhere. For people who are starting companies now, young entrepreneurs, I would consider them to would encourage them to consider becoming a benefit corporation from the start. That way you're able to identify those values from the very beginning. You don't have a shareholder vote, and actually doesn't restrict you in any real ways. You're still a for-profit company. If we had the option to do that, 10 years ago, we would have.
Interesting stuff. Yancey Strickler, thank you so much for joining us today on Bloomberg West, Kickstarter co-founder and CEO.